Okay, we're getting this thing going here.
God, you're such a dweeb.
Well, I try and keep it, with theme with the seasons going. So we change things around. So enjoy that while that guy.
Speaking of which, when are we going to do our long rant, including going after Kurtzman, now that I'm back?
Well, how long you back for?
I don't know for sure right now because of things going on that I can't get into on air, but
Okay, yeah.
at least a couple weeks, so you've got that.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe longer, depending on what goes on and who we can find to help take care of people during it.
Mm-hmm. See what's going on tomorrow, I guess. I don't know.
Just remember, this is all you need is the top line for basic rule towards everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Relax, Karen.
Yeah.
Of course, trying to stretch the words relax, Karen, over big boobs is something that offends a Karen anyways, which is kind of ironic.
Just the fact there's big boobs involved.
Right? Because Karens are such uptight little prudes.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they act like we chose to have them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a news flash. These came naturally. Unless they're artificial, it's not a choice.
Yeah.
Oh, lose weight. It's like, that's not how boob loss works. Some women might lose it during weight loss, but that's not because of they're not tied to that. You don't grow them to eat a lot.
I mean, Lindsay Lohan pretty much went flat chested when she was doing an eating disorder, but it's like they came right back. Okay.
That's if you're losing weight for most women, aside from a few, because there are some who will lose weight in the chest first, but generally speaking, you don't gain them because of your weight class, and you don't lose them because of weight loss. There's medical exceptions to that, but it's like I've heard plenty of these people going, well, you grew all those boobs because you were eating all that fatty food. It's like, that's not how that fucking works, you idiots.
No. Not a dude.
Believe me, if you could eat your way into having bigger boobs, my sister would have found a way. I mean, 5 kids, and she's still barely a B cup. I mean, basically as extreme as mine are, hers are the other direction.
Yeah, Indy did a thing with celebrating 2 years. I think talking about how she's got double D's on it. You don't have double D's, Indy. Okay, you've never had double D's.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of women that it's
like the footage going back 10 years. You never had double D's, kid.
The people that are claiming that Sydney Sweeney has such huge boobs, it's like, does she have a good chest that's attractive? Yeah. Yes. They're not that fucking big.
No. They're nice. They're a nice size. I'd say
she's
maybe
C to D. She's average. There's nothing wrong with that. She's got a skinny build, so they look decently proportioned and big on her. But she does not have big boobs. And again, you don't need big boobs to be attractive. You don't need small boobs to be attractive. But it's like, why are they like going, they're so big? It's like, no, they're not. No, they're not.
Echo Johnson was Playmate of the Month with A Cup. Okay.
It's like, I'm really tired of this attitude. Like they treat women like they're either children or a symbiote replacement for men who want children or sex toys, depending on their cup size. It's like, if you're small, you're somehow a fill-in for a guy wanting a child, and if you got big ones, they treat you like you're just a bimbo who should be a porn star and a sex toy. It's like, can we just drop these stereotypes because they're ridiculous and stupid?
Yeah.
If you got big boobs, if you got little boobs, don't worry, there's a guy that will like them. I mean,
there's one thing about the porn thing. Back when I was a kid, it's like getting a hold of pornography was like, it was like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Okay, you would usually find something somewhere, and it was like communal thing. You guys know, and you'd hide it somewhere. And generally, the most you'd find, the hardest thing you'd find is maybe a Penthouse or Hustler.
And there were some comments that Carr has made about trying to open the pages of used porn.
Yeah, if you're smart, don't do it on the magazine. Okay? Angle it so you're shooting somewhere, but can't be that. But it's like we know the weirder stuff has always been out there, but it was like very kept under wraps. So the only stuff you found in the wild was standard fare.
Me and Mom find it funny, all these people talking about high art and stuff. It's like, they do realize what all the nudes and all the sex scenes and stuff in art in the old days was, right? That was their pornography.
Mm-hmm.
When correctly viewed, everything is lewd.
Well, like I say, there's no way to ban porn. They're not going to ban it. Okay, there's cave drawings 5,000 years old
that show guys bending a girl over and hitting her in the back,
doing a doggy style. That's not a mastodon. Okay.
Well,
something about, I don't know, maybe that's the position they called it, but no.
Depends on the size of it if it's a mast.
Well, the way it was drawn, it's just two guys.
Mastiff dog, mastodon, whatever.
Yeah. There's just something innate. We like looking at pictures of people doing it, okay?
I mean,
it may be primarily a male thing because we're visually oriented, that thing.
I don't, but I understand it. I'm not going to sit here and look down on people for it because that's stupid.
Talking broadly in human nature type thing. And again, it's mainly males are the main visual thing. It was probably a dude to draw the picture on the cave. Okay?
You think?
Yeah, I mean, it clearly wasn't working from life model. It was a stick figure thing. But,
They found plenty of cave drawings also where it's like this little stick figure with giant boobs on it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, here's the body, but woo woo. Right?
And of course, there's always the paintings in Pompeii in the bathhouses. It's like, let's just say they knew their anatomy. Okay. That one they probably did have people pose for them. Okay.
Humans are horny fucking bastards.
It was Rome. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We are designed to have sex.
Yeah. And we're not having
go forth, be fruitful, and multiply. I mean,
one thread going, and it's like, imagine being a man.
I'd rather not damage my brain cells.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I found because Sinead, you can't do it. Even chopping off the breast, and still can't get there. And I just go, okay, I think I have an opening here. Imagine being a big lumbering orangutan, various degrees of being horny, with no fear of getting pregnant, but only fear of maybe getting someone pregnant and the responsibility therein. Okay? We are driven by our stomachs or our penises. That's it. That's being a guy right there, the bare bones basic. Ooh, okay. All right. So I need a hammer. That's a good rifle. I like that one. Well, let's see. What do we got for the dailies? 335. We can do a lot of this in one spot.
Or you can just accept your game sucks.
And let's take a look here. What do we got today in the shop? Here's your best sellers.
Wow.
That's further down. That's all right. That's the special menu. All right.
Is that the secret sauce? I mean,
I still like Squid Games. No, I just no. You have to. You couldn't pay me to watch that show, frankly.
I was referring to the old phrases of secret sauce at McDonald's when I was a kid.
Oh, but yeah.
We do need people to stop fucking saying that Squid Games is about these detainment camps that happened in South Korea when the writer has said repeatedly it's not, and the people who came out of those camps have said it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Can we fucking stop having people claim that they're based on each other?
Yeah.
Because they're not.
Why is my volume so damn low?
Well, he's from South Korea, and South Korea had these camps that did some of the things he said in it. It's like, okay, and?
Yeah.
It doesn't automatically mean that it's about that.
And your authority on this topic is what again?
It's like, what did the author say? The author said, I did not write it about those camps.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need anything else than the author saying that?
Sometimes people do, because they don't. What do you know? You only wrote it. Like, Yeah, nothing.
Which one was that where they were trying to say, what do you know about this thing that was written? And the person goes, I'm the one who wrote it. I remember that happening a couple of years ago on one of these online threads, and you could actually go to the person's page and prove they were actually the author. I was like, take the fucking L.
Oh, Raquel's in here. Okay, she's doing solos. Let's go ahead. Take a shot here.
I need to get a bunch of shit finished and made. Things have just fallen behind. But I think I want to almost take a break from all the little serious things I've been making and work on this.
Ah.
The multi-paneled floral display.
Okay.
It's pretty.
Yeah. Let's see, it's biggie.
Yeah, there's 3 panels on it.
Get bigger.
Yeah, let me see. See?
Yep.
3 panels.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it on clearance for $5.
Okay.
A lot of beads.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
I gotta make a lot of stuff. What do people want, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Check.
Wow.
Why is the volume so low?
It's still awkward if you eat penis at your doctor while he's examining you.
Mm-hmm.
It just says something you didn't want to say, and he just kind of looks at you like, okay.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and jump. She might not have noticed yet.
I found a Tourette's awareness shirt that is in gothic colors with Tourette's stuff on it and gnomes. You better believe I bought it.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm just looking at it, laughing my ass off.
That gets into moral imperative territory. Yeah.
It's like they made a pun, but I can forgive a pun because it's Tourette's and gnomes in black. You know? Yeah. It's like, fuck the rest. I mean. I keep laughing because people keep going, you don't really like this when you're not on air, are you? It's like, Lydia said it. If anything, you were actually worse.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My brain damaged. I tell people, yeah, you know, one of my best friends, I met him while I was struggling with the issues I have in my brain damage from growing up with massive seizures that burned holes in my brain. He was going through brain cancer, which left a big black spot across his brain. Our favorite thing to say to each other when we're talking and arguing and joking around is, what are you, fucking brain damaged?
I said, why, yes. Why do you ask?
I tell people that, and they look at me going, no, the one that cracked me up the most, though, and it was not, it was literally just a Cards Against Humanity moment in a discussion board, because this woman kept telling a whole bunch of us with autism that I've never met anybody with autism who doesn't love trains. So we're sitting there going, that's such a false stereotype. And she wouldn't listen. So finally, well, I've never been into trains. I guess I'm not the Asperger's type. She did get the joke, apparently, because she got extremely offended while everyone autistic was laughing their ass off.
Where are we here? Come on, don't forget.
That's like, because that's a really dark joke if you realize that he wasn't a genesis for them. You know?
Yeah.
It was a dark joke. And I enjoyed every moment of it. I told some of my friends that they're all sitting there going, oh, fuck yes. So I've been rewatching some old Simpsons episodes with Lydian recently, right? And we were watching the one about finding out that Krusty was an old Batman villain.
Oh, God, yeah.
And they tried to recreate the stunt, and Milhouse ended up knocking down a bunch of veterans and throwing up on a flag. So they sit there going, it wasn't me. Krusty did it on TV. Then he shall feel our wrath. Goes to the news article later. Fraught with the protest, Krusty had this to say. Will you people get a life? Not an option. Stop corrupting our children. No.
Is that Nemacan?
And then he would sit there going, the only way to respond to a cancel mob. Well, you people get a life. And of course, the not an option to stop corrupting our children was Lovejoy and his wife. Because if you're ever wanting screechy, self-righteous, those two are great for it.
Okay, no.
It's just like the whole thing that Flanders tried to do, trying to baptize the children without the parents' consent. That goes against doctrine in any church.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that without the parents' consent. Unless you actually have full legal parental rights.
Yeah.
It's like, and no good pastor would allow that, which is why he had to go try to do it in a river by himself, right?
Yeah. Well, like all the family, when Archie,
Archie tried it, and the priests and pastors wouldn't help him.
Couldn't get, they did it himself. Now, Lord, because I get home, I'm going to be in big trouble. So it's like, yeah, no, actually, religious people were not like that. We don't want to force other people into it. Yeah.
There's been exceptions historically from people who've misused religion and tried to force it on people, but that's not what our religion actually says.
I think they did actually follow up on that the next week. And yeah, Mike was pissed.
The fact that by the end of the series, he was actually willing to pay to become a member of the Jewish temple so his niece could get in. Does show you how much he grew up through that series, doesn't it? How much he protected her for being Jewish and helped her get back in the temple was actually a real growth for him, wasn't it?
No, think about finding out that Rich Cunningham was Jewish. Like, who'd have thought?
Yeah.
You got a Jew would have ham in the name.
And if you want to talk about somebody who was a great representation for drag queens and trans, Beverly LaSore was a wonderful character. An absolutely beautiful heart.
Yeah.
And more a traditional drag queen before all the modern crap got into it.
Well, it's divine. Okay,
Now, I have other issues with Divine.
Yeah. Remember, Pink Flamingos was made specifically to be as offensive as possible. So, and they succeeded.
Yes, but they did things in it that actually were damaging to the health, too, of the people.
Well, eating an actual dog turd is definitely not a recommended activity. Yeah, I think we're going to get a little distance here.
And yes, I have seen that movie.
I've heard enough. I don't really think I need to. Maybe one day, just to get it off the list.
But my issues with it aren't because it was designed to be offensive. It's that they actually put stuff in it that's actually unhealthy.
No, it was the 70s.
That you could not fake the way they did it.
Yeah.
That was the problems I had.
I still love this glider.
But I didn't think, I'm not sure. I wasn't sure Beverly was played by him.
Yeah. That was the first time I saw him. Yeah.
Because I can verify that pretty easily.
Because it was Divine. That was the first time I saw him in anything. And the whole thing of Archie thought he'd save some beautiful, some nice lady, and say, no, well, the Mrs. or Miss. Oh, let me put it this way. More like whips her wig off, Mister. That's just done. I think is they killed off the character, and then I think Archie, had to speak at the funeral.
It's not listed in Divine's credits at all.
Huh. Well, that's weird.
I didn't think the facial structure was quite right, but close. So.
I'm sure that was Divine.
Played by Laurie Shannon.
Huh.
So now I dig into that one.
Yeah, what was Divine's real name?
No, that wasn't Divine. Yeah, I could see the similarities of why it would seem like that.
Okay, well, all right.
But they're listed as separate people. They both died in their 40s.
Huh.
So, take that as you will. They both died in the 80s.
Okay, well, look at me. Not like there are a lot of pudgy white drag queens running around at the time, so,
Yeah, so now I'm going to dig
sure
into that one
a
little bit more.
They're probably the same rules a lot of times. Okay, what do we got here? All right. You guys are making too damn much noise.
Laurie didn't do anywhere near as much acting as Divine did.
Huh.
So there's that.
There we go.
But yeah, I do.
He's got a hammer.
I do honestly think there were issues that went beyond,
Well, learn something new every day. I thought that was Divine all this time. No, let's do this. Whoa. Yeah, I think we're going to get out of town here.
Well, that's also the benefit of being able to easily look things up and research now that things we couldn't do as easily back then.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can pull stuff up and go, actually, that's the accurate statement.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's the hammer.
Wow.
This. All right.
I don't know exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to get a bunch of shit taken care of.
I suppose we could. Well, did you have a chance to check out my little re-edit of The Cage?
No.
Because I'm going to see if I wanted to see if would it be possible to just whittle that down to a proper 1 hour time slot show.
Let's look at it this way. I haven't had a chance to keep up with shit from shit.
Okay.
Life has been a busy bitch for months. Okay. And I will be trying to catch up on a lot of the videos from everybody, but I'll also be doing that while I try to catch up on a bunch of my projects I have to finish.
Well, I can save you some of the suspense on part of it. No, it is not possible. There's too much there. And also bolsters my thing that thing was never really meant to be aired. Not as a regular episode. Okay, and the thing is, that's a lot of pilots. They're never really meant to go to air. They're simply there as a sales pitch for the network.
My mouse pad died. It started warping. It got too much.
Okay.
So I got a long one that actually runs across my entire desk and goes underneath the monitor's display, so it's actually pinned tight to the desk. So I can use the mouse anywhere.
There we go. Now let's see. I need actually zoom in now somebody with this rifle.
So now. Yay!
Yeah. Now I chopped it up as much as I could without making the total story completely meaningless. But it's still about 6 minutes too long. like I said, it just kind of goes to things like, no, well, don't they always make the first? No, most pilots do not make, even for series that sell. Most times you'll never see the pilot.
Did you? If you ever saw the second Odd Couple movie that they did as part of the curmudgeon era in the 90s?
No, I didn't. Never saw. I saw the trailer.
You need to watch that. But at one point, there's a moment they're sitting there going, he's going, my son got a pilot. He's got a plane? No. Don't you know what a pilot is, girl? It's a television show that never goes on TV. I do not want the yellow light right now. Let me see if I can get the other one.
I think we'll take this car.
Wow. You eat penis.
No, I got you. Oh, most times they use the. No, they don't. Because usually the pilot, there's substantial changes. Even a show that sells, there's quite a few changes are made between that and the final production. You change the cast around, the cut, and whatever settings.
They did use the pilot on Reba, but they didn't end up losing the cast either between the pilot and releasing it.
There you go.
Plus, are you going to replace an episode if you got Neil Carter to play the therapist? I mean, honestly, it worked.
Yeah.
Wait, Barbara Jean's pregnant? I thought Cheyenne was pregnant. Shut up! He's just a stupid kid. I'm not stupid. I found the pregnancy test in her trash. It's like, oh, damn. Right?
Yeah. Okay, I don't think I did it. No.
All right. So, hopefully, now that I got back, I have a few things I have to finish for family, but hopefully I can finish the cats for your wife soon.
Oh, okay.
Most of them are done and already glued together with their coaster backs.
Oh, okay.
I also raided a clearance rack of Diamond Art glue while I was over there and have 7 bottles full of it right now, which I will use up very quickly.
Yeah. Now, I think I will do another run at the cage, though, but I'm just, more just finish it. Treat it like a special Star Trek, presentation of a movie and throw captions on for star dates or whatever. Throwing a lot more shots of the ship. Get a lot of footage of a shot for the second. Yeah, because there's most of the shots of the 3-foot model. You got one shot of the 11-footer. There's a bank in it.
I've got so much shit here to make. It's unreal. I've got books of Diamond Arts. You remember how many were given to me when the others got destroyed?
Oh, yeah.
Plus all the ones that I salvaged out of the others. There's also this shirt I got recently.
Hold on.
My ticks are my brain's way of making life interesting.
I think Raquel bailed out on me here. Hold on. Let's see.
Okay. So obviously, I'm going to have some projects to make.
Okay. Still in the running for that one. Okay. As for this,
picture, if you will. It's just up your anus.
I'd rather not.
That's what I was trying to say. Holy shit. I want to set up another wall with hooks like this where I'll hang all the little ornaments that I'm making with Diamond Art until I'm ready to give them away. I love doing this stuff. I really do. Somewhere here, I had the last few for what I was making for your wife. I don't know where I set them.
So what do you think of the news that Kurtzman's contract is not being renewed, finally?
I think I want to go off on that when we have time for a full stream on it. I have much to say. I
mean, I would think, because Goldsmith and wherever one of his flunkies were at the Tribeca Film Festival, and they start talking about where they could go after Strange New Worlds, and then basically encroaching right into the original series thing. But we got all the sets, and no one's no.
You're sitting there going, the fans will revolt.
They're revolting already. They're already in open rebellion. You do that, that's it. You lose your support.
All I heard when you said they're revolting already was the little troll prince, where they said that your subjects will revolt. They're revolting already. A pox on them all.
Yeah. There's been open civil war ever since 2009.
I know. I'm on the right side of history with this one. Trust me.
Oh yeah. I've been right there, and
I did have a problem when all this started with the people who went out of their way to say that anyone who liked any of the new movies was no longer a Trek fan, and there was a moment of that. It's like, that doesn't help, and it just feeds the bullshit that they're doing, It doesn't mean I agree with the new shit. It just means it's like, guys, let's not act like idiots.
Yeah. I mean, they had the plausible deniability when they admitted it was an alternate timeline. Another thing is they didn't quite go far enough, and the whole thing is an alternate timeline, because even the Kelvin doesn't match up with anything.
And by the way,
shit, God
always talk about vulgarity from Christians. It's like, you realize words were not the problem; it was the intention used behind them.
Yeah.
And when it talks about swearing and cursing in the Bible, they're not talking about words that offend people. They're talking about actually trying to hex and seek harm onto people.
Yeah.
This is not, oh, that word's offensive. This is, why are you actually trying to send spirits against somebody to wish harm to happen to them?
The old may the fleas of 1,000 camels infest your armpits, that sort of thing.
It's like, we have this attitude in society where we act like everything's so simple, everything's so clear. It's like, it's not. It really isn't. So I'm finishing some dragons. Dragons. I love dragons.
I've had some things on eBay. A couple of 3D printed dragon dice holders.
Anything dragon you could always give me as gifts to make me feel good.
That's what I was thinking there.
Especially anything dragon dice.
No. Well, it's not it's to hold the dice. It's a little dragon box to hold it.
Yeah. Do you know what one of the things that the gnome gave me when we were hanging out in person was? He bought me a stuffed D&D 20-sided die. That's actually pillow size. That was a special gift. For a especially nerdy girl. I mean,
I remember in the 80s it came out, an actual 100-sided dice. Instead of rolling 2 10s, no, you take basically a ball with 100 flat sides on it. That was really more of a novelty thing. It really wasn't meant to seriously be treated as a dice. Because you roll the things, and they will roll down the hallway.
Well, there was an era when games were really heavily using the different sided dice.
Oh, yeah.
Categories had a 26-sided dice for how to pick an alphabet letter.
What I got a kick out of was at the Tower of London. They showed Roman multi-set, different-sided dice. 8, and we read, hey, there's an 8. They got 8-sided, 12-sided. Wait, they were doing this back when the Romans were here. Kind of made everyone feel a little justified in their geekiness there for a minute.
So in the rules of categories, of course, you pick a letter, You have a list of words you have to come up with based on topics, and you have a timer that goes off in like a minute something.
Yeah.
And in that time, you have to come up with a word for each of these things that starts with that letter. And me and Mom would play it. Now, there was a rule in categories that said if you could come up with words that use that letter as the first letter in the words in the answer more than once, you get a bonus point for each time it's a redundant rephrasing of that letter.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were asked for an author and you came up with one who had a name with two names that started with the same letter, etc., you'd get extra points. Me and my mom would make Seussian-like alliterations to every answer, where you had like 5 to 10 of the same freaking letter. And it didn't take long playing this before my husband and dad refused to play anymore and just sat there watching me and Mom. Like, nope, we're not getting between them. They're in competition mode.
So I'm trying to find my mother, the school teacher, in a game of Scrabble. I was the only one ever to take her on. Everyone else said, "Screw it." What the hell's going on here? All right, where is the annoying person making all this noise?
So it became kind of this thing with me and Mom where we're not competitive with each other usually, but when we got into word games, oh my God. When we got into word games, it was a whole different ball of cat. By the way, one other thing to remind on the competitive spirit, to every girl who plays any form of strip game, intentionally lose the first couple rounds and be stripped down enough that your bra is visible along with a few other things. The guys will no longer be good at winning. Because they'll be distracted.
Well, because they pretty much reached their goal anyway. They, cut you down to your bra.
Oh, no. There's plenty of guys. The goal is to get her
naked. I know, yeah. There's always, the overachievers when you see a Buddy Starkers. But, a lot of guys are happy at the underwear stage.
Disco cleavage, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's the I see her. You can see her boobies.
I still think it's hilarious what Uno did a couple years ago. They released a version they still sell off and on different places. It's a truth or dare version where for any time you play certain wild cards, you can write your own prompt on them.
Oh, God.
Needless to say, I have several decks that me and my husband have written into different sex games.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people who have.
Oh, yeah. It's
and I'm sitting there going,
like whoever didn't see that one coming, it's like, come on.
Oh, no. I think they saw it coming. I think it was on purpose.
I think they planned on it, yeah.
It's like, we'll sell a lot of them because all these perverts are going to go, ooh. Right?
Plausible deniability. Hey, we're just, we're not telling them what to write on.
Just come up with your own prompts. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. What could possibly go wrong?
I could show you my decks and you'll understand what could go wrong.
Yeah.
I know some people who made them far worse than anything I wrote on them. And I know that there are sex clubs out there right now that have manually written in decks of Uno in their sex games shelf.
Mm-hmm.
I know this because people have sent me pictures of the game shelves.
Oh, Steph is wanting to Give a text that apparently Peter Dinklage is going to be cast member on the new update of Dexter. There's got to be some card in there, just in the concept.
Can we make him a victim?
It's just,
you got to understand there's a lot of people in that community that don't like him after the shit he said.
No. Yeah.
And him basically pushing companies into not hiring them anymore and using AI generators to make little people.
It's like, who the hell made you king of the little people, asshole? Come on. You're not the Emperor Dwarf. Fuck off.
Brad Williams said some very interesting stuff about that, considering that in his stand-up for years, he called himself a fan of Dinklage.
Yeah, until
that comment.
Yeah.
And then he started going, who the f*** do you think you are?
Yeah.
It's like, Although I still say the Stamos story is my favorite.
Oh, God, yeah.
I go up to him and I just start humping his leg. I mean, I hate fucking this man's leg. This is a crime.
Shit.
It's like, oh, dear God. When people wonder what kind of stuff goes through my mind, be aware.
In comes Cooley. Hey, Brad, knock it off.
Hey, Brad, cut it out.
Okay, made it.
I can't believe I actually played the shoebox story for Mom. The town I was born in is about a half-hour drive from the town that she lives in. They're both tiny towns in the middle of nowhere that are going to be hard for you to ever find.
Yeah.
Trust and believe. But we're leaving the town I was born in. Well, passing through it, which takes all of about 3 minutes. And I went, okay, I'll play this game. I'll play it for you. It'll keep playing until we hit the top of the hill coming out of town anyway. So I'll play it for you. And because she was trying to figure out why I made my shoebox when I was trying to talk about stories that shock people. And I said, I can't tell you without ruining the story. She goes, okay, fine. We play the story. And she's really listening to it and going, oh, shit. Wow, okay. And about the time he hit the, oh, God, it gets worse. And him fanning himself, she's like, God, is he gay? He's like, thanks, Mom. Yes, I know. So get through it, and right about the time they pointed out that, and he reads the line, turns out I've been getting the best orgasms of my life to a replica of my father's penis. I thought she was going to wreck the damn car laughing. She laughed all the fucking way home for half an hour, making her own jokes to add to it.
Apparently, Olga Kurylenko is now following me.
Okay.
The Bond girl.
To those who want to understand why I am the way I am, picture not only as a child playing that segment for your mother, but your mother laughing and adding jokes to it for half an hour.
So anybody's like, where did she get it from? Well, there you go.
All over Johnson City on a dark and twisting road, in a Kenworth 18-wheeler, a heavy shifting load. He was pushing through to Binghamton, though the hour was getting late. Pfizer's finest on a mission to the pharmacies upstate. He was on a holy mission. There were men who couldn't wait for his 20,000 pounds of Viagra. All over Johnson City, people rising with the dawn. I don't really want to go into the trailers. The verse I invert phrases on all the time is the part about what happened. So basically, the beginning of the song explains to you that the trailer hauling all the Viagra, hit an oil slick in the road, and crashed into the town's water supply.
Hello.
It was instant rigor mortis. What a horrid way to die. Grab your son, shield your daughters. There's Viagra in the water. All over Johnson City, people rising with the dawn. They took their morning showers in watered lawns. And who could have predicted all the changes up ahead? Men were getting up for work, then heading back to bed. So many called in sick, you would have thought a virus spread. Down at the courthouse coffee shop, they stared in disbelief as a pack of thirsty lawyers started filling out their briefs. But at the local college, young men appeared much smarter. No chromosomal mystery, they simply studied harder. Now water on the rocks is the latest party starter. Old man Whitesboro took the shower of his life. And then he marched into the kitchen and he called out to his wife. She knew something was up as he stood naked at the table, holding 2 cups of coffee and a half a dozen bagels. It had been at least a decade since the last time he was able. I got that song from my dad.
No, but yeah.
It was a very interesting mix he made for me when I went to Job Corps that freaked out every student there besides me.
We should acknowledge, briefly, Dr. Demento is actually retiring now. He's gone, doing streaming for the past several years. But,
yeah, that's another thing we have to rant on during that show.
Yeah.
Part of my heart. Part of my heart.
He's earned the rest, okay? The man's a radio legend. Yeah.
I know. I told my mom, they're so conflicted. He's old. He's worked hard. He deserves it. But at the same time, it's fucking Dr. Demento.
Yeah. One thing that's kind of one time when I was having to go down to the library to get online for any decent amount, and while I was doing my stuff, I'd have something playing in the background. This it was an LA station out there. I think it's like 105.5, I think it was. But they were taking the day to celebrate the late limited KMET. And that's where Dr. Demento started, was the Mighty Met.
I just remember, though, with every time I feel sad about this, Charles Schultz kept working longer than he said he would for decades. Oh, yeah. Retired and literally within a couple months passed away.
I think his last trip was like, a day or two before he died.
But his official...
Obviously, the line work was really rough in those last few things.
Yeah. His official retirement was less than 2 months before he passed away. Everything that was coming out was stuff he finished right before it, all that stuff. And it was... We were barely getting to grips with the fact that he was going to retire, and all of a sudden he was dead, and we're sitting there going... No. So it's like, I want Demento to get to retire in time to actually enjoy himself.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that happen to somebody else.
No.
But I am going to go because I got to go get some stuff done with the gnome.
Oh, okay.
You behave and stay the fuck out of trouble.
Of course not.
Fucker.
Okay. Do this and see if I get some more somewhere. We're not going to go into town. We're going to go back to the other towers. All right, and what have we got up here? Better shotgun. All right. First time I pulled that off. All right. I'm saving the chug jug. Damn, not yet. Same admonition as always. Learn to aim. What's that shotgun? With a better shotgun. Still not there yet. Ah, shit. Let's try that again. Come on, get in the damn. What the hell? Son of a bitch. All right. All right. All right. Oh no. Bitch. Okay. Probably the wrong choice in weapons. Okay. Actually, hey, Daniel, let's go and bring that up. Come on, get up. Well, I've been avenged. Okay. All right, let's get back to the lobby here. I got a little plotting here for an epic Star Trek rant stream. Because, well, yes, the indie videos do, bring some traffic in there, especially ones with more of a point to them. Star Trek ones do get a bigger pop. So, so it's a balance. There's still a mission involved here. I'm trying to get her to wake the fuck up and see reality, but it's also like I got to tend to the rest of the channel too. So let's see. What do you wise? Okay. After increasing her rank. Yeah, let's see, what do we got left in here? All that's left is that skin, as far as I'm concerned. I know, there's still 3 more things of supercells. I don't care about supercells. I never use them. So as far as I'm concerned, so that's it. I'm done with the battle pass until chicken stuff makes up. All right. Slight pick with the Keep the Magic Alive channel with the karaoke tracks. They put up from the Jungle Book, I Want to Be Like You. They didn't include the backing vocals. It's like no. You want to do the King Louis thing, but but you also need all the monkeys singing new backup vocals. Can't expect the guy doing the singing to do all the backing too. Now, if it's a group thing where you got guys up there doing the backing, that's another thing. But that doesn't work for my needs. Okay. There we go. All right. There we go. I want to see something happen. Yes. Okay. That I think we have pretty well exhausted our search of the local football pitch. Anyone here? Not today. Never is. The one bus I don't think I've ever found anything on. Damn it! Bitch. Okay. Let's get back over here. We've been at it for an hour. And my back is doing weird things. You also got an Amazon delivery somewhere out in the wind, so I got to keep an eye open for that. And actually, I think I will probably call it break here for a while. I might be back on later, but for now, I did, level up. Got the things all good. I got to level up 2 more times in order to wrap it up with that. So I think actually, let me go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call it for now. So on them, it's like, where's that? Indie? The streams are still up on that other website. They're gone on Fansly, but they're still up on that other one. So if you really want to get them back, let me know. My conditions are very reasonable, I think. That's the rest. We'll talk about
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Well, the plan is ignored. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big bang up. Whenever there's a hang up, you'll find